Here we rely on these experts in these incubation units to give the best care to these poor babies who were born too early. How would the parent know?
Baby formula should be just about the safest thing to drink in the world, right? On today's episode of Ask the Lawyer, we're going to talk to an attorney who says some brands may be toxic. Hello, I'm Tom Mustin with AskTheLawyers.com. My guest is New York City attorney Michele Mirman. And I want to remind you right at the top, if you'd like to ask Michele any questions about one of your situations, just go to AskTheLawyers.com, click the button at the top that says Ask a Lawyer, and it'll walk you through the very simple process. And of course, you can also always call the phone number you see at the top of the screen there. So Michele, it's great to see you. Thank you for joining us once again.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. So tell me about the toxic baby formula that apparently is so harmful to premature babies.
Yes, well, there was research done many, many years ago that showed that cow milk-based formula could be very destructive to the intestines of premature babies. It causes an inflammation that actually eats away at the lining of the intestine and can form holes in it. And somehow, some way, doctors, hospitals overlook this research. Somehow the two major companies, Abbott and Mead Johnson, who make these formulas, and everybody's going to know the name of the formulas, it's Enfamil and Similac, they're cow-based formulas, cow milk-based formulas, are given to the premature babies, and many, many, many of them suffer from this terrible disease. It's called NEC, which is the initials for necrotizing enterocolitis. And necrotizing means death. So what happens is the lining of the intestines in these poor babies die. And about 25% of these children actually do die from this condition. Many more of them, because of this terrible insult to their system, their insides are peeling away, don't grow back. They need surgeries. They don't thrive. They have developmental delays afterwards.
And these are not some off-brands you're talking about. You mentioned Enfamil. I mean, these are big-time companies, right?
Correct. Big-time companies. Companies that have known about these dangers for years and years.
So are these products still being used for the preemies, though?
They're still out there. Nobody's taken them off the market. The issue again is that the warnings are insufficient, and doctors and hospitals are still using the formulas on premature infants. And that is where they should not be used, on premature infants, babies under the age of, say, 37 weeks.
Right. Well, so I guess the question is there litigation underway now? And if so, who's it against? Is it the doctors, the manufacturers, or the hospitals?
Well, litigation is underway, and the answer is yes, it's against both. It's against the manufacturers for failing to warn properly, and for doctors and hospitals for not heeding any warnings that they should have been aware of.
Wow. Well, is it possible then that parents whose babies developed NEC would have no idea it could have been caused by that problem?
Absolutely. There's no way that a parent who gives birth to a premature infant and the child is immediately taken away from the parent and put in a NICU to be taken care of. So the only people who are taking care of this child are the hospital staff and the hospitals. The parent has nothing to say about that treatment, and who is even going to start going through the medical literature to figure out what's good for a premature baby and not good for a premature baby. Here we rely on these experts in these incubation units to give the best care to these poor babies who were born too early. How would the parent know?
Right. It's pretty scary, Michele. So what's your advice to parents whose babies have suffered from NEC?
Absolutely. They should consult a lawyer right away. If the child is under 37 weeks, if they've been diagnosed with NEC, if they've had surgery, if you know that they've been given that cow milk-based formula, Enfamil or Similac, you should go consult a lawyer immediately. Your baby may have lifelong problems because of the NEC.
Well, great information, Michele. Thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. That'll do it for this episode of Ask the Lawyer. My guest has been New York City attorney Michele Mirman. If you want to ask questions about your situation, just go to askthelawyer.com, click the button at the top that says Ask a Lawyer, and it will walk you through the very simple process. Thank you for watching. I'm Tom Mustin for AskTheLawyers.com.